it's not very sustainable. These are rounds which you don't expect to win 9 out of 10 times, right? So hopefully it's going to be a much more cleaner style of CS coming out from Fnatic today, because they're going to need it, because ENCE are a dangerous animal.
Oh, they are dangerous, make no mistake, and maybe slightly wounded after the major. And when it comes to animals being wounded, sometimes they are at their most dangerous. So, Fnatic starting on the T side, as we just touched on as well, with Nuke being a map that ENCE typically are very solid on. It does feel to me that if we want to go the distance here, Fnatic probably need to pick up the Overpass. Obviously, there's not as much out there about Fnatic's Nuke performances, but we're going off the eye test, and that's all we can really do. Crims, in the meanwhile, getting aggressive. Hades pressured and forced away from the bathrooms. 3 Ts will be bearing down on him. Picks up the 1 frag, but gets traded out. However, because of the information he got early on, it's allowed a fast rotation to take shape and charge and Snappy, who's now on the A side, but he's lost his head to Smooya.
That's a long-range shot coming in from Smooya, the raid boss. P250 gifted to him as DHack looking to take the fight, but a great flashbang, and Mezzi immediately gushes him. So the initial duels going away of Fnatic, and now they can pretty much go wherever they want, Vince. 4 versus 2. Dodo and Spinks still haven't spotted the C4 out. And I like this from Fnatic. It's a minute on the clock. They can wait it out. They can force ENCE to be paranoid. And look at this. Doto already rotating out of the side, and Spinks looking towards, playing from the Heavens position. So if they opt to head towards the A side right now, it's pretty much ripe for the picking. And they're going to be grouping up together here and just slowly just storming the way onto the A bomb side.
So he needs to be very wary, because Spinks is laid in wait. Shadow betraying Mezzi as his head is removed. Bomb dropped down, but only for a brief couple of moments, and that rotational player of Doto needs to make moves now. Going through into connector, needs Spinks to stay alive, but Spinks has been dealt with accordingly. Doto will get the first shot off, but that will be his final play of the round. Fnatic do convert their opportunities and take the first round.
That was just well played. I did like what Hades did, and he was just committing to that fight. He's looking to at least get 1 kill, and as you pointed out, Vince getting the information so his teammates can rotate in. But Smooya winning that long-range duel with the P250 kind of opened up that side. Great flashbang as well to find a 3rd player playing towards Optimus. So all in all, a good start coming out for Fnatic here on their map pick. The force buy is going to be coming in for ENCE. Hades with a scout, the rest of them with the Deagles, quite a bit of utility as well. 4 smokes to work with, a nade, 1 flashbang. But Fnatic are making this very quick. Look at them already gathering up at the entrance of the B bomb site, and here they come bursting on in from Monster. Brolan's going to open things up. The young Sweet finds one. He knows where the 2nd player is as well, and Mezzi is going to hound him down. Snappy with the Deagle spamming away, able to find just the 1 kill. But in the blink of an eye, Vince, Spinks and 3 HP is all that remains. That's a nice shot.
Very nice. Kicks open things, and Spinks can maybe do a bit more damage, maybe bait it out with the scout. And in comes Alex, who will not miss his chance. And this is something that we saw yesterday against Spirit, that Fnatic on their T sides, especially on Inferno, had absolutely no fear. They didn't care if you had smokes up, if you had mollies down. If they want to push, they are going to pull the trigger, and they're going to get in your face. It was very entertaining to watch, Blair, but I'm curious, once the rifles come in for ENCE, once their economy is stabilized, will Fnatic start to slow things down, or will they keep playing this loose cannon style?
I think it's a mixture of both, right? We saw it from them. There were times when they went a little too trigger happy. They got punished for it by Spirit. So I'm expecting something a little bit more reasonable. 4 nades being purchased by ENCE, the only investment coming in from the CD side. Hades is going to be making contact towards Monster, and the moment he realizes someone's going to be pushing in his direction, there's going to be 4 nades getting lobbed in. But Fnatic, they're going to take this one slow. They know it's just the USPs out here. Hades spots the first man out. They're going to be heading into his nade stack, and the question is, can they trigger it a little early so they don't get completely bombarded? But if they get the timing right here, Vince, Fnatic could lose a couple of players.
Oh, no doubt. This could be costly. Problem here is there's a very low investment. You can see Crims is down to a P250. Like, they really scraped together this purchase as much as possible, and, well, it's worked out nicely for them. Just 1 frag. A lot of damage on Smooya, but he's got the Mac 10, and, of course, he wants to trade up to that AWP as soon as possible, knowing that a rifle round is on the horizon. Gets smoked down into heaven, keeps the 2 straggling CTs at bay. But let's be honest, even if that smoke wasn't there, it's 2 USPs. You're not really expecting a great deal here from ENCE. Additionally, they've now given Alex that Mac 10 and said, go kill. And he will oblige with the Mac 10, spraying down both the remaining CT players. A quick fire 3-0 start. But ENCE will have a buy coming up.
Or more like Alex told himself, Alex, go kill. Being the IGL, of course. Yeah, nice kills are coming in from Alex. He's going to be able to get that little bit of extra money. SMG cash, obviously $600 a kill. And he's flush with it. And early on, the AWP being purchased and dropped into the very capable hands of his countrymen in the form of Smooya. We did see Alex with the double up setup on the CD side yesterday, Vince. That is something we could really be seeing here as well. But the buy is going to be coming in for the side of ENCE. Hades trying to make early contact towards Fountain, but he won't find anyone. Fnatic in the meantime taking quite a lot of damage. Do you believe that was either the wall bang or a nade? And with that, Hades has to fall back and play a little bit more of a passive position. You can see the rotation already taking place. Spinks is going to be helping out his teammate. And we have Dodo as well, just waiting to rotate if needs be. Now, Fnatic, with Alex in the Mac 10, he's going to be the guy on a fact-finding mission. He's going to be the guy looking to make contact. And even if he gets taken down, at least he's going to gather the information as to where a couple of these CTs are. And this re-aggression from the CTs, I love it, as Alex will be found out. And they're not going to be expecting the open hands of Hades. He's going to find Crims, and one by one, Fnatic are starting to fall, but Brolan with a quick trade.
Yeah, money is still very insecure for ENCE, so they need to tread lightly. Yes, you've got off to a great start, but what can you do with that? Snappy on low HP. Alex getting caught in the back, but of course, he was the Mac 10 wielder. So although it sucks for him, Fnatic still retain a lot of firepower. Hades thinking about pulling the trigger again on this aggression, and with no smokes remaining on their utility belt collectively, it's understandable why he's going in for this. Incendiaries are being tossed down, but he's dropped the bomb alongside it. Brolan counteracts instantly, just shy of 30 seconds on the clock, and Fnatic know that the pressure is swelling for them, but Smooya picks off Snappy in transition down in no man's land. It's been punished accordingly. Brolan gets winged around the corner of bathrooms before retrieving the bullet and putting it into the head of Hades. And now DreamHack with 12 seconds has to try and stop this. Is there enough time for the plant? No. I think they're going to be too shy.
No time. There's no time. 5, 4. There we go. They've lost a round, and all DreamHack has to do is just stay alive, and they have won the round. Little bit of fluff there from Fnatic. They knew where the final player was, but looking at the clock, they should have committed to the fight, you know? It's a 1v2, just go for it, go for the quick trade. Smooya could have swapped up the AWP for a rifle, which was littering the ground right around him. So the first round goes away, the first round for ENCE. However, Vince, they do lose 4 players. So the buy isn't going to be that great for Fnatic, though, considering how clean some of those rounds were, round number 2 and 3. They will, of course, be able to afford a very solid buy. AK is going to be coming out again, and the AWP still in the very capable hands of Smooya.
Oh, that is a bitter pill to swallow. So very nearly secured in the round. So close, yet so far. And early nade damage. Crims, slight gap in the smoke, gonna try and exploit that. Snappy just to his left-hand side. Meanwhile, though, Messi straight down onto the B side, claiming Doto and DreamHack. 2 massive entry frags. And now the B side has been entirely cracked open. And that should be the round to follow. I wouldn't be surprised if at this point ENCE just save. They're in no position to even feasibly try and go for this.
That was so quick. It's like, I barely just gathered my thought trying to figure out what these guys are going to be up to, and then Messi single-handedly cracking open the B bomb site. Now, Snappy could potentially be a snake and try and steal a gun away, but Brolan is more than ready for this particular flank coming in. And yeah, they're going to just try and look for exits. Snappy looking to upgrade an MP9 of his to maybe an AK-47, but Fnatic, they're going to play this one safe. Everyone grouping up together. There's no need for them to go for the hunt here. Obviously, the weapons are much more superior than the ones ENCE possess at the moment, the 2 FAMASs and the MP9. I'll be going in for the hunt, though. MP9 able to just get the dink. Spinks able to finish off the job, but they've lost another member. For Fnatic, even though they do lose Brolan, doesn't really matter. They keep 4 alive. They've won the round. They've not necessarily broken the economy, because there are 2 FAMASs to work with, and I'm sure a few pistols will be purchased. But what a start to the round. Messi, just the target selection, and his awareness, right? He just knew exactly where the second player was. He's going to be peeking from Monster and just plays that one to perfection.
He played it phenomenally well, but you've also on the other side got to say to ENCE, like, where's the follow-up protocols? You know, peeking B short that early, 1 by 1, when you know the T's could be up there. You've got no Molotov down onto short pipe. You've got nothing to stop the defenders coming in, or the attackers, I should say. They're seeming a bit off the boil for now on ENCE side. They've gone for the grenade stack again into middle. Negligible damage to Brolan, down to 72. And although they scraped together a buy, it includes a few upgraded pistols and those 2 saved FAMASs, as you touched on before, Blair. So What kind of scares me a little bit right now for ENCE is one of the points that you raised about their T sides being a little bit lackluster at times and certainly lacking consistency. If Fnatic get off to 6, 7, 8+ rounds, ENCE could be in real dire straits.
Oh, absolutely. And that is what's worrying for me. If they want to make this map competitive, look, if it goes to Nuke, I won't lie. I feel ENCE are definitely the favorite team. But you want to potentially make it a 2-0 because Ancient is a map you don't really want to head towards. I'm not too sure about that, Hades. There are no eyes towards Fountain. It just crosses over, hoping there was no one watching. But Fnatic, protocols are solid. To finds a player in Snappy very low as well on 5 HP. Rotation has taken place though, and Spinks looking to make something happen with this FAMAS. Instead, he gets found out, and Dodo pushed back behind the smoke. This round's done, Vince. It's going to be round number 5 for Fnatic, and might even do it without losing any members yet. Rollout is kind of low. There is a look coming in form of Snappy all the way from behind. The party ran over to P250, just waiting to catch a player when they will be falling back, trying to escape the radius of the C4. But Fnatic, yeah, they survived that. Not really a forced buy, but they survived the 2 saved rifles. For ENCE, though, they're going to be able to afford a decent buy, but it still won't be great. I don't think they have enough to afford an AWP yet for Hades, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they just went for another light buy, not really fully investing.
Dodo is looking to try and scavenge one of those FAMASes, but he has to run down the gauntlet of the oncoming T's, and they were waiting, laying in wait. There will be no survivors, no prisoners taken, and we're getting into the 7th round. Collectively, ENCE have 9 kills. That is how poor this is looking. Doto, one of the actual standout performers for me, at least at the major, was quite surprising how many frags he was getting and how much impact, especially on maps like Nuke. But it's DreamHack yet to get off the mark, which is really painful for ENCE because he is typically one of their heavy hitters.
Still early days, Vince, so hopefully, you know, they can probably find something here. The op's going to come out for Hades. I'm not a huge fan of this. The lack of utility. Hades doesn't even have any armor. He's pretty much naked apart from the big green. And Spinks out in the open. Hades finds Brolan. Now, I'm not sure if Brolan spotted out Spinks walking up, so this could potentially open up the opportunity for Spinks to try and come in from behind. Catches out Smooya, and that's gonna be a 2nd kill coming in from ENCE. A great start. They've been struggling thus far. The bomb's been spotted as well. They, however, aren't going to be sitting on it, considering it's out wide in the open. 3 players still on the B site. And Mezzi trying to poke and prod. 10-2, mind you, for Mezzi. He's been fantastic at opening up these rounds, but he will have to slow things down a little bit. Tossing a nade, dealing a bit of damage into Dodo and Diha. But the bomb, at least, has been retrieved. So Fnatic right now are going to be just grouping up together, making a decision where they want to head towards. And looking at where the bomb is slowly meandering its way towards Monster, it looks like the B hit is where they are, which is what they're pondering, and rightfully so. But I love from ENCE, though. They really haven't budged. They know it's a 5 versus 3. They still have forward positionings if you look at Spinks all the way towards long as well. So this round, unless something goes wrong terribly for the side of ENCE, should be one in the bag.
It's one that Fnatic have had a lot of success on, so it makes sense to stack this if I'm ENCE right now. The problem is, though, that Mezzi has been on fire, and there's 2 more headshots. The Snappy is peeled back. The flashbang could not have been better. Fnatic are just clobbering ENCE. The demolition has been put in place. The charge is set, and they've been blown up in the face of the Finns and the other international players on that team. Oh my God, I'm just lost for words, Blair. My brain hurts. How is it possible?
How does he get this kill? I don't understand. All right, he gets the first one. Oh, that is spilled. And then a perfect flashbang. Even though they found 2 players, there was still making sure that they had the protocols right, Vince. They knew there might be a 3rd player. They flashed through the smoke, and this Fnatic team, they had no business winning that round. They had absolutely no business. There were 3 players lying on that, waiting on the B bomb site, and it just fell apart. All right, 4 of the top 5 rated players at the event are Fnatic players. Well, true. It's only been 1 best of 3 thus far, though, Elliot. You know, small sample size.
Very true. However, if the start of this is anything to go by, Blair, I think that stat may keep relatively similar. I mean, Mezzi, by the way, he has been an unreal entry fragging prospect in this game. He is going to be terrifying if you are ENCE. And considering everything in terms of the economy, the current positioning in terms of the score, that is a round that ENCE have got to win. They have to win that. That was what, a 5v3 with 20 seconds left, and you didn't kill a single one of the remaining 3 players. That is absolutely absurd.
It's unforgivable, honestly. Like, you've done the hard work. As Dodo is finally going to open his account. Vince finds one. Brolan has spotted out Deha. He knows there's one behind a pillar. They might try and double peek him, and Brolan, aware of the possibility against the Deagles, he's going to fall back. Lost a member. The gun which is dropped, however, it's in the middle of Monster, so it's not easily retrievable for the CTs. The boost comes in, and Deha gets spotted out, and that's an easy kill for Brolan. 1 by 1. The ENCE members getting picked apart. And I like this from Fnatic. They know just the pistols. There's no need to rush on in. They have a lot of time to work with. The only danger for them would be a potential flank coming in all the way from Playground, but right now ENCE are just total up, looking to be a little bit more aggressive towards short. You can see Snappy's position towards short, towards the sandbags, and Brolan is being so patient, Vince, so very patient, waiting for them to come into his crosshair, not running in alone, and Mezzi looking to get to his 14th kill, I guess. He's on 13 and 2 already. Make that, never mind, 15 and 2. He's off to a hell of a start. T-side of Overpass as well. It's not that easy. Jojo at least gets 1 kill, but this has just been a nightmare for the side of ENCE. Great opening kill, but after that, nothing went the way of ENCE.
It's just been annihilation. I mean, you're looking at 15 frags and 2 assists, and we're in round 9. He's averaging nearly 2 kills a round. His ADR has got to be probably 140 plus at this stage. Like, the guy is absolutely out of his mind. He is full on cracked at this stage, and ENCE can't seem to catch a break. They get a frag, they get instantly wrecked, or in this case, it's Brolan with the drive-by, who by himself has been pretty solid as well. He'll get outshone by Mezzi's crazy entries, but keep in mind, yesterday, he was unbelievable against Spirit.
Oh yeah, he was. He absolutely was. And that's the worrying thing here for the side of ENCE. It's not just Mezzi getting off to a great start. We know how incredible Smooya can be later on. You know, he really hasn't had too many opportunities yet with the AWP. When I say that, he's still sitting on 6 and 1, mind you. Brolan's starting to wake up. We all know what Crims can do on the CD side. You know Alex can be an incredible secondary rifler, or even, sorry, a secondary opper, and just a great fragger overall. And right now, just Mezzi doing all the heavy lifting. Look at the money. It's an average of about $10,000 across all 5 members of Fnatic. Just slowly come creeping in. Spinks spots the hand. He's going to hold his line. He finds the first kill, but turns around, misses the second, though, and it's going to be a quick trade from Crims. Snappy, however, looking to strike. Has done a lot of damage on a Brolan. Finds Crims. Quick trade coming in, and down to a 2 versus 2. Deha and Dodo. They need to deliver right now, Vince. This is the best opportunity they've had in a while, ignoring the 3 versus 5, of course. And now Fnatic, 30 seconds on the clock. They have a decision to make.
And last time they decided to go for a late B round. Keep in mind, that's the only round ENCE won is when Fnatic flubbed the timing. But they're going to go to A. Deha, yet to get any kills. This should be his opportunity. He's been tagged, he's been winged, he's been forced back. Now there's a Molotov down. Good spray, though, as a Deagle comes to the aid of Smooya. Unsure as to where the last player currently resides. It's going to be down on the dumpster. He may get caught. He may get fouled from Doto, who decides not to peek. He assumed it was a fake. And now Smooya has every chance to win this round. Takes down Doto. And with it, the hopes and dreams of ENCE. They continue to dig themselves out of these ditches. And they're 8-1 in the lead.
All the British steel right there from Smooya. He just stuck the plan. He's like, yep, you're not going to peek. You're not going to peek. And he knew how much time is remaining. And I love that decision from Smooya. He just sticks it, scopes in, knows exactly what's going to peek from, doesn't go for it, doesn't fall for the shoulder peek, or rather the top of the head peeking around the dumpster. Just safe shot. And again, Vince, you did point out the round they lost was them running out of time. That's the only round ENCE have won thus far. It's ridiculous. And again, now back to the pistols. Again, now down to the Deagles. They're trying to aggress towards water, but Mezzi's going to find Deha, and things were pretty bad. But this has to be alarm bells ringing for the side of ENCE. And here's the problem, Vince. It's not like they can't play Overpass. They're a decent Overpass team, but they're made to look like absolute plebeians right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their stats, the last 3 months, they got a 55% win rate, 11 maps played, and they're playing all against a lot of the big boys, the top teams. So
Yeah,
it's not necessarily their best map, but it's definitely not one that they're trash at, and they're being made to look like plebs right now. I mean, how much of this, for your eyes, though, Blair, is Fnatic performing as opposed to ENCE just not really showing up so far? Because I think there's two sides to the tale here.
I think it's both. I think it's 100% both, right? I feel ENCE individually not really popping off. We look, we know how Dodo, Spinks, Dia, Hades, all these, even Snappy can be, but individually just getting outplayed, out-aimed. But I want to give credit to Fnatic. The protocols, utility usage, the way they're grouping up together, the space in the trade game, also the sheer aim. Again, see the flashbang coming in, right? Allowing Mezzi to push in alongside his teammate, and they're going to double team and find Dodo. Good work from Snappy, though. That's the C4 dropped. Little bit of a mistake being made by Fnatic there, the C4 going in, but Broland's there. He is the contingency plan. It's a 2 versus 2. As Smooya finds Hades, it's all on Spinks. 1v2, 20 HP. He can find Smooya, but he won't find the second. Broland with a 1v1 clutch. It came close, but Fnatic, they get to 9. It's looking exceedingly grim for ENCE.
Yeah, if I was to try and pick out a bit of optimism, as I really try to in games like this, at least ENCE are making a lot of the rounds get down into sort of scrappy 2v2, 3v3s. But then to play devil's advocate, you have to rip that away when you're saying, yeah, but you've won none of them. So you're getting close, but Fnatic is still besting you. That is simply not good enough on the CT side. And this should be the side, by the way, if you're fairly new to CS, this is a CT-sided map. Make no mistakes, and ENCE are a CT-sided team for the most part. So when you put all these stats together, it is looking incredibly rough. Put up 0.27 opening kills per round with just 0.04 up deaths yesterday. Christ, Broland, okay, calm down.
I mean, I'm guessing Mezzi's going to be challenging that today. If he's going to be continuing on this particular streak, he's on 17-4, 12-4 for Mezzi and Broland respectively, Vince. I mean, that's 29 kills between the two of them. That's more than the entirety of ENCE combined and more.
Yeah, it's just wild, isn't it? And by the way,
yeah, it's 19. It's 19 for ENCE.
Yeah,
and Mezzi's on 17. It's ridiculous.
Jeez. His ADR, by the way, going into that last round was 165. Just to put it in context, that's kind of numbers you expect to see in the first 2 or 3 rounds if someone's popped off from the pistol. Now we're moving through into round 11 and he's got like 160 plus ADR. That is absolutely ridiculous. And now Diha, who's still on only 1 kill. And it's not to single him out as being a problem. It's just really, this goes to show how good the guy is. He's typically one of those players that you expect to see really pull out some big frags, some big moments. Stuck on the back of the site, will be tested. Doesn't even get a chance. It's Mezzi again. Straight by. Bullet delivered first class. And a 2-for-1 trade. Albeit Alex on low HP, but a perfectly timed Molotov will keep Hades, keep that CT contingent at bay for now. And a lot of this is going to rest off Spinks. But if he opens that door, it likely will be to his death. And Smooya pushes him off his mortal coil. Fnatic will be picking up double digits.
Yeah, you gotta save. You just have to save. But even if they save, even if they're able to get more, get another buy later on, Vince, this is so grim. It's the complete. What's the opposite of easy for ENCE? This map, this first half right here. It's just been an absolute battering coming out. And the way Fnatic is just reading when the peaks are going to be coming in, they know the timings of where they're going to be pushing in from. What I'd like to see here would be maybe some aggression coming out from ENCE, but Fnatic aren't really heading towards A that often, right? They're going to be just abusing this B bomb side time and time again. And every time we see ENCE go for some aggression, maybe towards connector, maybe coming towards B short, they get punished as well. Fnatic just seem to be a couple of steps ahead of them every single time. So this is, I don't want to say it's done and dusted quite yet. You know, it's Counter-Strike, anything can happen, but this paints a very grim picture, especially considering our pre-game. You know, we're rambling along talking about how the T-sides have looked rough. They're going to probably have to play one of the best T-sides we've seen from this young side of ENCE for them to bring this one back. I like this though, a little bit of aggression, taking some control of water, but Fnatic, not mingling around. There's no one staying back. And the thing is, they've conditioned ENCE to having at least 1 or 2 players waiting outside Monster, that ENCE are not going to feel comfortable pushing in quickly and getting that information. As I say that, again, look at the minimap. They are finally trying to gather some information. Now they know that there's no one waiting outside Monster. That's going to allow them to rotate and stack that A bomb site. And that could potentially be round number 2 coming in for ENCE here. They have everything. They have the information. They know where the hit's going to be coming in from. As Fnatic's going to pounce, the rotation is on.
It's all about the entries again, though, because so often the first frag has gone the way in these opening duels to Fnatic. And although it's a one-fun trade, a lot of damage to Spinks. They've got perfect smokes down. D has down to 52. Wherever he walks, there's flames, there's smoke. The fume's enough to choke on, and if he's not careful, he's about to get sideswiped by Alex, and that's exactly what comes into fruition. Suddenly, Spinks and Hades against the world, and they know where Hades currently resides. They heard him back away after the York shot, and Spinks was last seen on long, and he's low HP, just trying to save an AK-47, but we're getting to that kind of position in the game where saving weapons simply is not good enough. At this stage, you need to start winning rounds. And you know, if the roles were reversed and Fnatic were 10-1, 11-1 in the lead on their CT side, that would be grim enough. We'd still be talking about that. Like, geez, we know that their T sides aren't that great, but come on now, this is looking really bad. At least Spinks will hold on to the AK. The fact that it's on their CT side, I'm watching this, Blair, and I'm kind of dumbfounded. I'm not entirely sure what I'm witnessing.
UKCS being on top, Vince, yeah, you should be happy about this. But jokes aside, though, this is just painful. An absolute clobbering coming in from Fnatic, and just the fact that the only round they won was because they were Fnatic ran out of time. You know, just a couple of seconds. This could potentially be a 12-0 on the T side of Overpass, something which you don't see that often. And ENCE realizing that this new Fnatic team definitely a force to be reckoned with. Still early days though, we still have New coming up, and we know how very good Snappy and his men can be on that, if not on Overpass. And if we do see a map number 3 coming up, which I really want to see, Vince, like this is a game I've been looking forward to ever since I looked at the teams who are going to be playing this DreamHack Open, and I'm like, ENCE Fnatic is going to be a banger. But if it's going to be just a damn squib of a game, I'm just going to be so disappointed. Saying that, though, we do have Fnatic gearing up for this B hit again, where they found so much of impact. Dodo blinded, he needs to find one, and indeed, he will find 2. Snappy with a nice kill onto Alex as well. And once more, it's a 2 versus 4 for Fnatic.
Surely this is the one that they've got to win. Surely this is it. Smooya bypassing the smoke, snaps into the opposition and gives Fnatic a lifeline, but it's been stripped away. Smooya now on a 1-on-3, but he does have control over the bomb and enough time to go for a rotation, or at least to fake it out. So he's going to back away. He knows that the B site is stacked. This makes perfect sense, and it's smart. Try and divide and conquer. If you can find a couple players by themselves, this is the way back in. The problem here, though, is that Doto's taken a forward position outside of Connector. So he will hear if Smooya opens the door. He'll hear if Smooya starts to run towards the A side. And Smooya has to start running. He has to because of the time. Doto would have heard that. 2 players now find themselves on towards the dumpster. Good Molotov and a flash up and over. Smooya looking for the drive-by frags, but he gets stuck from behind on Spinks. And finally, ENCE have something to cheer about.
Woo! 2 rounds. 2 rounds on the CD side. At least a good hole coming in here from on the B bomb side. Dodo getting a double kill. I think that was his first multi-kill round thus far as well, which is so surprising. I mean, you look at the players on the end side, right? Dodo's, Dihad, Spinks, Hades, and only Spinks in double digits. CD side of Overpass. It's ridiculous. And for Fnatic, even if they lose the next couple of rounds, I don't think they're going to be too worried about it. It's an 11-4 scoreline on the T side of your map pick, which is Overpass. They're going to be very happy with as Spinks. Going to be making contact here. There's a great flashbang, brilliant flashbang from his captain, and he's going to make it work. Finds a couple. Crimson, Alex taken down. And some signs of life coming in from ENCE here, Vince. It's taken a while, but it seemed to have finally woken up a bit.
Oh yeah, better late than never. At least gives them a chance. If they can win these last 2 rounds plus the second pistol, who knows? Game is on. You touched on it before. Anything can happen in Counter-Strike. Yes, it's been looking incredibly painful, excruciating for ENCE these last sort of 5, 10, 15 minutes. It's been a bit of a barrage. But if they can slow down the pace, start to get some success. They have been up against it multiple times in recent memory, and they are a very resilient bunch of players. So down but never out. 50 seconds, though. We've already seen them lose a 3v5. And I believe that was Mezzy, Brolan, and Smooya alive that time as well. So we've seen them do it before. However, none of ENCE are weakened, and they have plenty of utility still available. Incendiary smokes. So you feel like it's going to have to come down to the likes of Mezzi, who's still on 151 ADR. Brolan, 102 ADR. They've been getting in the thick of it, and now the smoke's up and over. Hades, watching the close angle, takes his shot but misses. Has to relocate, has to reposition. Only 20 seconds to go. Fnatic need to start pressing forward. Need to try and take the fight to the CTs. 1-4 on trade, probably not good enough, especially as damage is being inflicted, and now Spinks holds the line as he posts up 14 frags in his own right. For as poor as DH has been, Spinks has certainly shown up here on the side of ENCE. But Smooya will tuck his tail between his legs and save the AWP. A third round now for the CTs.
The round just won with that one flashbang getting tossed in by Snappy in the connector, right? And just great spray control coming in from Spinks. And yeah, 3K from him. Round done. Here we go. The replay. Brilliant flashbang. Crimson and Alex were just so very blind. He didn't even fall for Brolan trying to bait out a shot. He controls the spray. Great work as they get a very hard-fought round number 3. If they can get to 4 Vince, maybe win the pistol, convert the anti-eco rounds, you know, it could be 11 and 8. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, right? But there is still a world where we can see ENCE come back into this game, but right now it's still looking very grim. Spinks, again, making his presence felt towards Connector, but it's not going to be sticking on around and battling it out with Smooya, who is solo pushing up Connector with the AWP, which is so very wild. As Hades, oh, you need to land those, Hades. He spots 2 Vince, and he doesn't even rattle off a single shot. And Alex is going to pluck his head clean off his shoulder. Spinks still looking the wrong way. Fortunately for him, Alex, oh, he's going to keep pushing ahead. Spinks has no idea, does it? Alex is going to look the wrong way, though, and that's a good find from Spinks. If he sticks around here, he's got no backup. He needs to get the hell out of Dodge, and indeed, he will slowly creep back towards the safety of the A bomb. So Radiha is there holding the line, but he's on only 12 points of health. Fnatic, they're in a very good position to get round number 12 here in the final round of the first half. Diha, AWP retrieve, considering his 12 HP would be the right call. And right now, the B bomb side, 1 defender. It's going to come down to Dota.
Doto's had very mixed results so far in his performance. Going to be called upon. They have no Molotovs to deal with him, but a good well-placed flash. Also, the AWP of Diha has moved into position, but he's been dealt with accordingly. Surely they check this angle. Now Doto's given his position away, and Smooya puts the bullet through the smoke. Down goes Doto, and Spinks has to be frustrated. He's actually played really well. He can hold his head high. 104 ADR when your team is potentially going to lose the first half. 12-3 is no small fate. Like, he has been playing very well indeed. The problem is that you look at the rest of the team and no one's really been there to lend them a helping hand. Now has to try and clutch this 1-on-4. Already half of the fuse has gone by. May get the first pick, but now his position's compromised. There's going to be a swell of T's that come up against him. And Fnatic will be absolutely cruising at 12-3. Find out if they can convert this massive lead after this short break.
They look shattered right now. Fnatic, this is definitely, I mean, when you come off of a streak like they've had...
A key element to professional CSGO games are various boosts. They sometimes blow our minds when we see them performed in professional tournaments. However, there is one specific boost that we all remember, the most controversial one of all time, the Olaf boost.
It's definitely a huge confidence boost now for them, especially when they need it, but look...
In the quarterfinal of DreamHack Winter 2014, Fnatic was fighting for their survival versus the Frenchmen of Team LDLC.
Oh, it's hard not to love what Fnatic are doing right here. LDLC, they just lost around to it, and they still are not sure. They're just getting fired at. They're going down! Olofmeister, they have no idea!
Obviously, we did something that had never been seen before, and a boost of that importance has never been shown before, so...
The 3-man boost gave Olaf never-before-known vision over the map that they could use to their advantage to turn around their fortunes and win the match. The story could have ended there.
Sees it coming. They've accounted for this, Fnatic. They're one step ahead.
LDLC decided to file a complaint suggesting that the boost the Fnatic player was using was against the rules. Game admins decided that the last map was to be replayed the next day. Before that happened, however, Fnatic chose to withdraw from the tournament and forfeit the game. The reaction from the audience and supporters had been overwhelming.
it was kind of game breaking as well. I can understand why people reacted the way they did, but I think it was a little bit too much even then.
That day, Olaf Meister became Boostmeister.
So I'm calling you. So I'm calling you to let me
Do not adjust your monitors. The scores are not flipped. Fnatic are legitimately 12-3 up to the good, and they're moving through onto their CT side. And if we're being honest here, Blair, that was a Mezzy masterclass. Brolan and Smooya, great supporting cast, but the amount of entry frags, the amount of impact kills Mezzy picked up was absolutely phenomenal.
It's kind of crazy how good this kid is. And then you have someone like Brolan popping off as well. Smooya's 14-3. Like, we've been praising Mezzy so much, but Smooya's 14-3, opping on the T side of Overpass. Just crazy stuff coming out here from both the Swedes and the Brits, as Smooya making contact towards Connector. He's being gushed down to 70 HP. He's not going to stick around much longer. And look at the aggression from Fnatic, Vince. 4 players pushing up towards Fountain, and Brolan is not stopping. They're going to continue to press the matter further, and they're going to be just shepherding the remaining members of ENCE back towards the B bomb site, where it is going to be Smooya and Alex lying in wait. And they're going to be walking into a trap again here.
They are, even if they can get the plant down. The positions post-plant for Fnatic are going to be so powerful, especially in the hands of Brolan. Mezzy's going to keep them interested. He's now dropped his 20 bomb incidentally, but Brolan has gone down to the hands of Dotto, so that is huge. Now the chances for ENCE significantly spike back up again. If Flashbang proceeds to push, allows to create a bit of chance and a few opportunities, but Dotto is taking this and making it his round. Spinks, the one shining light of the first half, also bags himself a couple of kills, and that's much more like it from ENCE.
Welcome back, Dodo. Welcome back. That was some clean shots coming out. And I love how you pointed out, Brolan was coming in with the flank, and they knew that was a possibility that, you know, as long as he stays alive there, they would have to be worried about the CDs coming in from every single direction, coming in from heaven, coming in from CD spawn, coming in from short as well. So they decide to take matters into their own hands, despite being a man down. They take down Brolan, and now they don't have to worry about a flank coming in from Monster, right? And then they can concentrate on the remainders of the CTs coming in on the retake. So great stuff from ENCE, despite losing a man early on, and despite the fact that Fnatic knew exactly where the hit was going to be taking place. And there you have it, ENCE, after a good start here. And if they can convert the next couple of rounds, Vince, you know, counter the Deagles and a scout buy from Fnatic, and of course win the round where Fnatic would just have the USPs, suddenly it's 12-6, and yeah, it's still a substantial lead for the Swedish org, or rather not a Swedish org, the British org, because they are based out of London, and we could potentially have a comeback here. Still slim, still unlikely, but you know, anything could happen. It's Counter-Strike after all.
It's an honest mistake to make, Blair, because Fnatic have been synonymous with Swedish Counter-Strike for so very long. Interesting to see this alliance. However, ENCE have picked up the first. The Spinks goes in. It's just the scout, though, from Smooya. Has to land headshots. Won't be happening. And a well-placed HE will at least pick down Spinks, who was already weakened from the... They tossed in from Mezzy. They get their man, but unfortunately, being smoked off multiple times, they're in no position to feasibly fight for this. And I'll be thinking of the bigger picture. You've got Deagles, you've got some Kevlar as well, and some smokes. May as well use that into the next round. Try and post up for some exit frags and make this messy for ENCE should they charge and go hunting. However, good news for ENCE is that they're starting to get a little bit more leeway into this, gaining a little bit more confidence with each passing second. Now, Snappy talked about it as well in the interview he had yesterday, where he said that you learn way more from a loss. I mean, it's a point that we've touched on many times. Their T-sides have looked lackluster, and I have to believe that Snappy's gone back to the drawing board and he's, crossed the T's, dotted the I's, and he's come up with some ideas. And we need to see that now, Blair. If they want any chance of coming back into this, we need to see some really solid T-sided rounds and really pressure Fnatic, like make them squeal a little bit, because they are an untested roster as the 5 of them. Yes, there's plenty of experience on this team, there's plenty of talent, but as a 5, they're yet to get properly pushed by teams of ENCE's stature.
True. But if you look at the, like you said, right, if you look at them individually, you have a player who's won a couple of majors, doing one of the most dominant runs we've ever seen by a Swedish team. We have got that, of course, being Crims, for those of you kind of new to the game. Then we have Alex, who was playing for the Vitality team. They were looking pretty solid initially. We have someone like Smooya, who, he's been bouncing around teams here and there, but remember that crazy run he had with Big on land, mind you, where the entire Smooya chant happened. So these are players who not only have the experience, but they have the, they have those wins, those crazy performances and legacy behind them. So if you just look at it from that angle, obviously Fnatic are the favorite team here, but this is good from ENCE grouping up together, trying to use the range of the rifles they have, tapping away, ensuring that the pistols don't really get up to no good from Fnatic. So it's going to be Fnatic just maybe looking for some exits. Crims perhaps looking to hold on to his armor. He's the only one with Kevlar to speak of. It's got head armor as well, while the rest of them with the pistols may be looking for some exits. But it's going to be round number 6 locked in for ENCE here, unless something really terribly goes wrong, which shouldn't be the case, as Messi and Crims find a couple of kills. Oh, they don't have a kit, though. And the rifle will be retrieved. The right call from Roland. And this is a bit of an expensive round, Vince. Those are rifles for all 5 of them, and now they've lost 3 of them.
They had 1 Mac-10, which has been picked up from Messi, but absolutely, the rest have been rifles. So you're looking at 3 kills. Yes, they can buy again, but when you look at the bigger picture, this could come back to haunt ENCE. In a couple of rounds' time, if they can continue to hemorrhage losses and casualties, it really could come back to haunt them. So if they can come right back in, though, in this round, just as the way that the T economy works in the game, they can absolutely stabilize, and that last round will basically mean absolutely nothing. But additionally, on top of that, it allows an AK to trade hands with the kill rewards that they got on some of those pistols. They can now get a couple more grenades stacked up as well. So in terms of the buy, Smooya's got an up, he's got a smoke and Kevlar, and they're looking pretty good. However, ENCE have decided, screw this, we're going to play aggressive through the smoke, through the fire, through the flames, and through the bullets. A barrage of them finding their way towards Doto, but he still stands his ground, and that resolve yields him a frag, and a second one on top of it. Finally, ENCE really waking up from that slumber. Alex posted the back and off angle, using that smoke to his advantage as Broland comes in. Alex needs frags, he needs impact, and he's found them. Broland can maybe finish off the weakened Spigs, takes him down through the smoke, and with an incendiary put down onto short side, it will isolate the 2 teams from one another. It could be a burn job for Hades, who decided to push through that Molotov, but just about survives by the skin of his teeth. Last 2 players incredibly low, but Smooya gets traded out as he's stuck over in heaven. ENCE have passed with flying colors. Yes, it was costly, but they get their 7th.
The amount of mistakes being made by ENCE on that B hit, I saw at least 1 team flash, where the flash just bounced off the back of the monster wall and just blinded everyone. But yeah, Dodo waking up, great shots, especially the second one onto Alex, and despite it coming down to a 2v2, and Roland maybe getting a little ahead of himself there. They still had a lot of time to go for the defuse if needs be, taking out a P250 and getting taken down with the 2 rifles and the surviving member of ENCE. But yeah, they do pass, Vince, and that's very, very important indeed. The AWP, though, still going to be purchased by Smooya. The remaining members with the Deagle's going to be trying working the way around the big green. Now, Broland right now is the only man on towards the A bombs. It's going to be pushing him towards long. It's making a lot of noise. He spots so many players. He's done for it. There's no way he finds one. He won't. He is going to get the kill. But the jig is up now. They know exactly where all the T's are going to be coming in from. And if I'm ENCE, you can slow things down. Still a minute and 17 seconds on the clock. You know it's just going to be a light buy. But they don't know that there is an AWP in play. And that could be the X factor for Fnatic.
Exactly. And because they don't have connector control, which is really, you know, the centerpiece of this map, allows you fast rotations, they can't even be sure that there haven't been a couple of sneaky CTs that have pushed their way in there or are holding short B. So I understand why they're lingering around this area for too long. And now they know the AWP is in play. Now it's been activated. And you can see the snap reaction as that Shiver goes down the collective spine. And Smia has already read the situation. He's already put himself onto the B site. This is a winnable round for Fnatic. Additionally, a smoke down onto short will keep them at bay a little bit longer. Fnatic have a perfect read of this situation, and this is looking grim for ENCE. They're deciding to push through now, but Crims with the deagle on the barrels, and Smia with the Overwatch approach should be good, but he misses his shot. Crims comes alive with one, but it'll be too little too late. They had the chance. It was in the palm of their hand, but it slipped out. However, maybe Alex can clench that fist again and land a KO blow as the strike right down Hades takes him out. But Alex realizes his days are numbered, and he'd rather stay alive, so he decides to back away.
What a shot onto Smooya, Vince. Like you said, they had the right angle. They knew exactly what they're going to be coming in from, and... Oh, he's going for it, Vince, is he? Doesn't have a kit. If he finds one right now, there is a world. He's going to dropping on down. I don't think he's been heard yet. Snappy. At one point, he's going to peek for information. Slowly creeping up is Alex. He's going to find one player, find Spinks. There's no time remaining, though. He's going to go down with the bomb. He's going to find all of them. And, well, pretty expensive round for ENCE, all things considered. Alex, of course, going to be surviving. And, more importantly, the AWP will be retrieved heading into the next round. For ENCE, sure, they lose all the members, but they will, of course, have more than enough money to go for a full-fledged buy. But Fnatic made that look very scary. And now looking at a scoreline, 12-8. A tactical timeout getting called, the first one, I do believe, for the side of Fnatic. Because they're probably trying to sweat a little bit here. It's going to be a buy round coming out, and they probably want to close this out as quickly as possible. They don't want to allow ENCE the opportunity to claw their way back. 11-1 T-side leads and Overpass are converted 95.3% of the time in regulation. And that means ENCE, if they manage to pull off the comeback and get the W on this map, Vince, it's going to be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, the odds going through into the second half. We both said it wasn't done just yet, but if we're being honest, we both expected this to be fairly straightforward for Fnatic. More often than not, they should just dial it in. Yeah, maybe ENCE get a second win. Maybe they start to come back into this. And it still very well could be like a 16-8 if Fnatic just hold their line. Because if you look at the economy for ENCE, because of the consistent casualties and how well Alex played that last little portion of the round, they lose this, they're into eco territory. So it could still happen. But the fact that we're even in a feasible comeback situation speaks volumes about ENCE's resilience, their tenacity, and Snappy is an IGL. But we also, again, have to give a nod to Spinks. He was great in the first half. He's continued his form coming through into the second. But my goodness, are they going to be relying on him to perform more rounds in the future here, Blair? Because if he goes off the boil, honestly, I don't see where the firepower comes from. Smooya just dancing out of danger and holds the line for the frag. The Finn sent packing, and ENCE already down a player.
Alex so lucky to stay alive there. He was getting wall banged. Gets gushed down to 26 HP. The timing of the splashbang could be everything. Crims not going to peek with it though. Smoke deployed by his teammate. That's going to keep ENCE at bay for a few more seconds at the very least. But the way, if you look at the amount of map control ENCE have, it's looking very clear that it's going to be a hit coming in towards B. Another smoke going to be deployed. Hades waiting patiently for anyone to dare push in. And look at this hold coming in from the CTs. They're going to be doubled up on the right side of Monster. With 30 seconds on the clock, ENCE have to pop their way in. They do have a couple of Molotovs, 3 Molotovs, in fact, and 1 flashbang. Alex is going to be taking one for the team. The flashbang's going to blind him. He's just going to go for the full spray. They won't be expecting a second player. It's going to be Crims. It's going to drop 1. Snappy with the trade. 2 versus 3 as they make their way into the bomb site. Smooya falling back to a more safer angle. Nade lobbed in. Should deal quite a bit of damage into Hades. They're not expecting the second player on the site, though. Right below in the water. And it's going to be Mezzy who's going to strike. 5 seconds. There's no time remaining. Round number 13 for Fnatic. And Hades doesn't even get away. And Vince, despite the streak of rounds they've been on, considering how much Fnatic made them bleed, they finally lose 1 round and their money, it's in the bin.
Yeah, that in a nutshell for the CT side is why economy management is so vital. You saw Fnatic constantly squeaking out an AWP here, a couple of upgraded pistols there, Alex with a phenomenal couple of frags at the end. Yes, they lose the round, but he takes down all the players with him, and eventually it catches up with ENCE. This is the importance of keeping your eyes on the prize. Even if you lose, you can still get minor victories here and there. However, Brolan sprays down the middle, only picks up one for one trade, and an easily salvageable weapon as well. And Orc could trade hands here, as Dodo is just making sure that connector is clear. That's not a great start for Fnatic, all things considered.
Really not worth it, considering it is the force buy from ENCE, so everyone's got that Kevlar and armor, Kevlar and helmets to work with. Well, not all of them, but at least a couple of them. 2 Galils, now augmented with the AUG. I did not intend that to be a pun, Vince, so I do apologize, but it could really make things a little worrisome for Fnatic. Smooya is going to be leaving control of long. They're going to be grouping up together. They need to retake some semblance of map control here to Fnatic, but considering they know it's against a light buy, I can totally understand why they don't want to be so adventurous as well. As ENCE once more grouping up together, looking to end up on the B bomb site. 1 smoke and 1 nade, all they have. Smoke probably going to be used for heaven. There we go. 1 nade, they have to go for the contact play. And once more, lying in wait, it's going to be Crims.
Well played smoke though, and well timed. 35 seconds, not for the first time. ENCE taking their sweet time to get onto the site, and that's going to play into the hands, surely, of Fnatic. You have more firepower. However, Spinks catches Alex in transition, and there's another one. Spinks goes in for more. The Israeli is coming alive again, but Smooya douses the flames on this potential comeback. Diha popped out of his boots on the approach. The flick misses, and Snapper using that AUG against the CTs. There's enough time for the plant. Mezzi can't stop this. Stuck in the heaven, is giving his position away. Does have a kit, does have a flash to his side. Could even go for the AWP, but I assume he's going to keep the AK at this position, try and spray down his adversaries, but it's Spinks that comes out swinging. And by the way, he is now top fragging on the server.
The AUG as well, Vince. You pointed it out. You're like, that AUG getting dropped could be problematic, and who gets a kill with it? It's Snappy. He finds 2 kills, actually 1 kill with the AUG later on. But Spinks, the hero of the hour, that was a round where they just had a couple of Galils and pistols to work with, and they somehow managed to not just win the round, Vince, but kind of break the money for Fnatic. Now, Fnatic do have the AWP and the M4 in the hands of Smooya and Brolan, but they're just trying to equalize out the money. The rest of them, just a couple of pistols, that's about it. And they have gone for a bit of a mini stack to its connector. And it's going to be Brolan with the M4, finds 1. Alex playing up close with the USP, not the best of positions to play with the default pistol, but he does manage to land a bit of a dink. Now Dodo, holding the line. They are completely unaware as to Mezzi's position, and he will clothesline Snappy. That's a gun ready to be retrieved, but he needs backup real quickly because Dia is going to come charging in and gets the kill. Brolan out in the open, finds 1, looking for the second kill, tapping away, runs out of bullets, and Spinks with yet another double kill. In Smooya, even though he might be looking to go for this, Vince, he's been smoked off, and he has a very expensive weapon in his hands. And ENCE, once more, they managed to win yet another round, and they get to double digits, 10-13. The game is definitely on.
Oh yeah, we've gone from a blowout to a real close bout here. And Smooya was never going for that, as a lack of a kit had come to the forefront, was looking for some exits to see if he could hurt ENCE a little bit more. But I think we're seeing the difference in cohesion levels here. The fact that ENCE have been a well-drilled machine. They've been to the major. They've been playing together for a lot longer. These T sides, they're grinding out the rounds. The issues they had on that first half, Blair, we discussed it multiple times. It wasn't like a 10-1 score. They were never close in rounds. There was multiple clutches that went against them. And whereas in the first half they were losing, this half they're on the winning side. And that is the key determining factor. However, Fnatic, 2 AWPs in play. We saw them absolutely wreck Spirit with this on Mirage yesterday. Let's see if they get the same kind of success here.
Switching it up, desperate times for Fnatic. Smooya, oh, the timing on that, Vince. Waited a couple seconds more, could potentially have caught Diha, and there was no one nearby to go for the trade, but he's gonna find Spinks instead, walking out as Smooya strikes once again, taking out Diha from the equation. And that, I feel like this has been the best start we've seen for Fnatic thus far on the CD side. 2 early openings, Snappy tagged down to 25 HP, and now ENCE left scrambling and wondering what they're going to do. Still a minute on the clock to work with. Still have the rifle and the utility. Fnatic looking good. Smooya spots goes for the wall, then doesn't find Snappy. Ooh, I'm surprised I didn't actually land the shot through the wall, but they will survive as Broland spamming through the smoke, finds Hades, and it's a 5 versus 2.
Player is going to cross. Dotto, if he had got the frag on Mezzi, that could have made things a bit more interesting because Smooya on low HP would not have been long for this world. However, Fnatic not just win the round, but they keep all 5 players alive. And instantly, it's the old classic for ENCE. It's looking like an either double eco on a couple players, I think. I saw a couple players at 1400, or it's a force buy. What are they going to go in for? Yeah, D has down at 1400. You got Hades, 950.
Oh.
They're going in for the force player, and this stings if you're ENCE.
This is do or die. You win this, sure. You know, you're able to not fully break the economy, but at least you live to fight yet another round. You lose this, you gotta have nothing left in the bank. You're gonna be down to a buy similar to this, maybe slightly better, maybe 2 Galils instead of 1 against a full buy of Fnatics, and that could be Fnatic winning the round, winning the game here. As Mezzi finds one, but Spinks with a quick trade. Dia as well with the Tech 9s. They're just somehow getting these kills. Mezzi down to the USP, and the flashes are so terrible for him. Taps away, gets the kill, but in the meantime, Dodo replies back, and it's a 1 versus 3 amongst the chaos. Somehow, Vince, and they strike back, and they find Smooya as well. They had no business winning the round, but the fast B rush, that was the answer all along.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see a few chinks in the armor of Fnatic. If we think about it, it's the second time now that ENCE have won effectively a very straightforward, and take nothing away from ENCE, it's a really well worked and well drilled execute, but that's the second time the Fnatic have succumbed to basically a force buy rush on B side.
Yep.
And it's starting to show itself a little bit as a potential vulnerability.
Oh, it's been a problem for them. I mean, against buy rounds, fair enough, but just getting caught with the pants down, not being aware of the possibility of a faster play coming in from ENCE. It almost feels like a taste of their own medicine. We saw this from Fnatic yesterday against Team Spirit, albeit it was on a couple of very different maps to Overpass. It was an Inferno. We saw that in Mirage as well, so definite holes in the armor for Fnatic. But if you're a fan of this particular Swedish mix, Swedish-British mix, they still have a 3-round lead. They still have weapons to work with, a decent amount of utility as well. As Alex, not coming into the fight, he spots out Dodo. He's aware of Dodo's presence. And looking at his position over there, Fnatic, they should be doing the math. It's very likely it's going to be hit coming in towards the B bomb side. Crims have had a very quiet game thus far. One of the best small side players we've ever had in CSGO, and he's struggling a little bit here, and he's going to have to answer the call of duty. He's going to come pre-firing around the corner, runs out of bullets. Unfortunately, the USP, it's not going to be good enough, and again, it's going to be the captain, Snappy, opening it up with a quick 2-kill. Roland does reply back, but it's trades back and forth, again, favoring ENCE. They keep battering this B bomb side, Vince, and they just keep getting away with it.
Yeah, it pains me to say it, but I think you hit the nail on the head there. Crims is having a very off game. We can't overlook this. I mean, you saw from his perspective there, a player that's normally just ice cold, a player that you can normally depend on. As you said, he's a veteran of the game. He's been there, done it multiple times over, and yet he just snatched at that. He panicked. He's spraying an M4, which obviously has the less bullets than the A4, the A1S that he's using, and then he has to switch to USP up against Kevlar. Like, he's never going to win from that point, especially as it left his teammate in an awkward position on barrels on pillar side. Like, these are just small mistakes that are costing them huge. And
I think we saw it wasn't just Crims as well. Like, a couple of players are just going for this full commit sprays through the smoke, and I don't know if they realize it's the A1, it's not the M4, and ENCE using that opportunity. They're like, all right, they're out of bullets. Rush on in, get a couple of free kills. I mean, when the 3 rifles facing you and you have a USP out, it's not an ideal situation to be in. And I don't know if it's nerves, it's going for the pre-fires or whatnot, but not exactly a great play coming in from the veteran. So Fnatic, they will have enough money to force out a buy if they want to, but I'm assuming they're going to be going for a light buy here. The Birmingham Bulldozer, that's the new one. That's the new one, Elliot. Mezzi went 6-0 in opening duels with 136 ADR in the first half. I don't think the second half's going to be, considering he was like, what, 20 plus kills, I believe, at the end of the first half. He's kind of slowed down. So was Broland.
I think he's only got 4 or 5 kills this entire half. But you know who has kept it going forward? The man on your screen right now. You read my mind.
Yeah.
Production. Spinks. He absolutely wrecked that last round. He's just shy of 30 frags, and he has been consistently outputting the damage. And again, I go back to what we said before. I don't think I've seen Diha be this absent in a map before. The guy is such a Polish powerhouse. He really is that damn good. He's on 6 and 22, but Spinks has been outrageous. He's been everywhere. Entries, anchoring sites, impact frags, everything you need from this man, he's been delivering in spades.
Oh, he's not just been a saving grace for ENCE in that first half, and I kind of felt like, oh, it's going to be a losing effort, but he is single-handedly seemingly bringing this one back for his team. And now, oh, Diha, great opening onto Crims. Spinks again continuing to open up the side, and wherever he looks, death comes alongside him rather, and he's just mowing them down like the Grim Reaper. And Smooya, I gotta say, the number of times he's had the AWP out in some of these rounds, Vince, they never go his way. It's always on the A bomb side. Instead, the action is happening on the opposite side of the map. He's never really had an opportunity to really be a part of the action. And at one point, I just want to be like, it's an eternal conundrum for Fnatic. They're like, they're going to be coming A this time around, boys. You're going to keep your AWP there. But no, they keep going B time and time and time again. And that AWP is basically useless. For Fnatic, though, it was a light investment, Vince. So a buy is still going to be coming on in. But ENCE look unstoppable.
Exactly. You look at how many times Smooth's died 9 times and they've conceded 13 rounds. Right? We're getting into the 28th round. And it just goes to show, T side was dominant. CT side, you've absolutely nailed it. The fact is, they've barely even been on the A side of the map. It's almost like A side does not exist here on Overpass. And at some point, you think the penny's going to drop for Fnatic and they're going to bolster up that B defense. But then you just know Sod's Law is going to come in. That's the round that ends fast hit A.
I know.
And so you're in this horrible will they, won't they? Like the Schrodinger's cat of Counter-Strike. And if you spear right now, you're left in the dark. You're like, guys, please. Okay, here we go. Now he's got the green light. Go kill on B site, Smee. Let's see what you got.
They're going to go A, aren't they? They are kind of slowly posturing, although it's not, you know, they haven't really, at least seemingly committed to any site yet. They're going with a bit more of a default approach, which we haven't seen much actually coming out from ENCE thus far. Now Smooya probably wondering, oh no, are they going to be going A? Because if they go A, Brolan is going to be the only defense they have. And this man on your screen right there, he has been a demon, a nightmare for Fnatic. 31 kills already in Brolan in the smoke. If he's not careful, he is going to be done for. He needs to at least find 1 kill. Mezzi battling it up with Spinks. Brolan just hugging the smoke, looking to find someone. This moment it dissipates. Oh no! He finds none, Vince! 25 points of damage is all he finds, despite the fact that both those players were not looking his direction, and Fnatic can lose a man early on.
Oh, hold on though. They're moving towards B site. Smooya's going to see some action. It's not going to be Smooya time. He's going to actually be posting up in position. However, how's the utility? Because in this kind of an angle, if he gets fast pushed monster, the AWP is in so much trouble. And they've gamble stacked the A site. They've left Smooya oil alone. And all events are here.
He's got to turn around. Oh, misses the shot. He's done. He's done for. He's done for. He's still alive. Still alive. They haven't pushed in yet. Now he spots one out. Though it's Snappy plucks his head clean off his shoulders. They got to save. They got to save. ENCE have tied things up. An 11-1 scoreline for Fnatic on the T side of Overpass. And here we are. Score's getting tied up. It's been incredible from ENCE.
Then if you listen real quiet and really carefully, you hear the sound of Smooya sighing reverberate around the world as he's just been wrecked again. He's had no opportunity to have any impact on the CT side. I genuinely feel bad for the guy.
I don't even think it's intentional from ENCE, right? It's just he's had such shit luck throughout this second half. Like, it's incredible. He had 19 kills on the T side, Vince. 19 kills, and he's probably thinking, all right, lads, CD side, I'm gonna get out that AWP. I'm just gonna drop like 30 kills, 35 kills. He's got like 3 kills, and it's not because he's been missing shots or anything. He just hadn't had the opportunity, as you pointed out, Vince. It's been such rough luck. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We have a pause coming in, but it's all tied up. ENCE, well, we all had question marks about the T side, Vince, but it looks like the answer was the B bomb side all along.
Yeah, the old rush B tactic has worked a charm for them. Keep in mind as well, that's 2 rounds on the CT side for Fnatic, Blair. They've picked up 2 rounds.
I don't. I'm trying to wrap my head around what's going on here. It's like both these teams, CD side really sucks, but the T sides have looked incredible. And Spinks, I mean, we were just praising what Mezzi was doing with his opening kill on the B bomb side, you know, ably helped out by Brolan, and Spinks like, well, I'm just better. He's just better. And he's just completely making them look so silly by the looks of it. What do Fnatic do at this point? I don't even know. I mean, they're going to have money. Some money. But I don't think it's enough for a full-fledged buy. I don't think it's enough to, you know, get the guns they want to work with, like, you know, Smooya with the AWP, for example. So a big decision to be made by Fnatic. Whether you go for the half buy, try and play for OT, or maybe just go for the force buy and try to break ENCE and close it out 16 and 14. But honestly, from what I've seen from them thus far, it's looking rough. And if I'm ENCE, I just keep going B.
Why? But yeah, if it ain't broke, why fix it? You know, just keep doing what's been working out for you. Fnatic, I mean, they tried to make a change there. They get picked off. Brolan gets picked off in bathrooms. They stack Smooya alone on the site. And the rest is history. Tech issue has been resolved. They've picked up the PC. The bit got through out the window. That may be a lie, by the way. And
I'm sure Smooya just chucked it out. I won't lie. I love the guy. He's a passionate guy, though. Well, I was wrong. They do have money, Ben. So yeah, they will. I didn't have a chance to look at the cash earlier on. So they do have a buy coming out, but they've had buys a number of times. It just hasn't panned out at all. So the AWP again for Smooya. Oh, they're going for the boost. We haven't seen this thus far. And usually when you fail are they? No, you're not going for it again, are you? Yeah, there we go. That's more reasonable. So they missed the first opportunity. They could potentially have found Brolan there. Oh, sorry, Brolan's not there. He was actually pushed right next to the sandbag. So they wouldn't have found anyone in any case. And again, Smooya all by his lonesome on the A bomb side. And Fnatic have stacked 4 bits. They have 4 CTs lying in wait.
That's a better trade, though. Crims is burning, needs some help. There's a lot of damage being inflicted, and Mezzi through the smoke shuts down Snappy. They stacked 4 players on the B side, and it's worked out a charm. Crims burns Doto alive. And a low Hades has to pull the plug and run away. It's all on that man again, Spinks. If you wanted one player on the server in this situation, it would be him. He has been absolutely absurd. However, it feels like this is probably a bridge too far, even by his very, very high caliber. Molotov down. There is at least time to play with. They have control over the bomb. It's not like it's spilled out onto the B site in an awkward position. It's still winnable. But they need Spinks to get off with a start here. That Molotov is probably going to give away the idea of hitting the B site late. Spinks is desperate to find a pixel to execute off, to exploit, to expunge away from this site, but he's finding nothing just yet. He is, however, clearing a lot of angles before Mezzi shuts him down. Flash from Smooya, and Mezzi finishes off the rest, and Hades on a lowly 4 HP with an AWP by his side. Very unlikely to even get a frag from this round, let alone clutch it out, and down he will fall. It's been the first time in quite some time that Fnatic have got success, but it's at the bright moment, let's be honest, just ahead of the finish line, they get a map point.
And they win it because they had 4 players on B. Like, they finally put 4 players on B. They bit the bullet. They're like, screw this. Smooya, you're on your own. And they a pretty good hold, all things considered. Now, what do ENCE do? It's round number 30. They have everything they need to work with. The full arsenal at their disposal. You're going to be going for a bit of a default. Things making his way towards connector. A little bit of presence being shown towards playground as well. That was a D-hub. But once more, they group up outside the B bomb side. They're making it no secret that there is quite a heavy presence from ENCE outside of Monster. Slowly creeping on up. Spinks is going to be pushing in from the squeaky door. Is going to be clearing out all the close angles. And again, Fnatic have kept 4 bodies to defend the B bomb side, where all the action has been taking place this entire second half. Smooya, the sole defender towards A, but once more the action is looking likely. It's going to be ending towards the B side here. They have 3 Molotovs, a multitude of flashbangs, a lot of smokes as well. Question is, are they going to try and go for a cheeky dry peek first? And look at the rotation taking place from Fnatic. They've already sent a player back, and a hit's going to be coming on in. Crims, you need to stand and deliver, and indeed he will. Finds one, finds a second, and in a blink of an eye, Hades left alone. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to OT.
Oh, we're going to a win for Fnatic. They're
Actually,
one
never
kill
mind.
away.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I've lost my mind. I take it back. I thought I was going to OT for a second there.
Hey, but understandable, mate. My brain's been fried off this game as well. I'm right alongside with you there, brother. But yeah, Hades, he's the last man standing, the last bastion of hope. Fnatic have to shut him down, and they will be moving to nuke 1-0 in the lead. However, maybe Hades can pull out a magic trick. He's not quite been present or really present at all in this map, if we're being completely honest. But this would be a great time for him to punch himself in. This is the last round, Hades. You have to make a go for it. And down he goes to Brolan. 16-14. The fake comeback has come to pass. But I think there's some question marks over that Fnatic CT side, Blair.